Okay, let's go.
Aha! You're right. Selamat pagi, Assalamualaikum to everybody watching. Today kita ada cerita hangat we want to share with you all about those people who got divorced. Or well, if a spouse passes away lah.
So we are talking about mak janda today.
Mak janda, is there such thing as a pak janda?
I have no idea. No, like guys
Or
do
right?
Yeah.
Widows, kan? Right? I think that's the right term. But yes, so good morning to everybody watching today. We want to jump right into the horror stories that we've heard recently. And so far, in the past 1-2 weeks, we've heard stories of a certain theme where either the spouse passes away or it's a divorce case. Kan? And as we know, here in Singapore, most of the time when we buy a house and it's usually a HDB, it will usually be in joint tenancy. Kan? So for those of you watching, if you're not aware, you can buy a house in single name, which means you own the house in full. You can buy in joint tenancy with your spouse, which means both of you own the house 100%, or tenancy in common, which means everybody has a specified share. The story that we heard today, first one, let's start with the first one that Zulu was telling me about. This gentleman, he married a widow, is it?
Yeah, this was the inquiry that was thrown to me lah. So basically, the family's concern is that because the sister is a balu, so the husband passed away. So if she if she's gonna remarry, will the guy stay in the house for free? Because technically the house is fully in her ownership, correct?
So husband dies, joint tenancy. Hopefully the HPS, the Home Protection Scheme, pays out. So the house is fully paid, and then it goes to the widow, the lady, in full, 100%. So if she marries somebody else, he stays in the house for free.
For free.
Jeng, jeng, jeng. Amacham, what do you guys think? How is this kind of situation supposed to be handled?
Asri.
Even if he's staying in the house for free, he's not a listed name owner in the house. So he's just an occupant, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, you can put him as occupier, then he just stays there. But I mean, if we talk about free, it's between the couple lah, right? Who contributes what, etc. If the house is really fully paid and the guy moves in,
I think the concern with the family is could be the arwah is their siblings. So basically, adik aku or abang aku dah fully paid for the house, or his whole life working for the house. Then suddenly this guy just come in and just resides there for free.
Abang dah cinta, dah suka, then how? I mean, from my personal perspective lah, there's no right answer to this. For me, personal perspective, if the wife, the balu is okay with it, who are we to say, right? And what if he's contributing to it? Maybe he's paying for all the household bills. Maybe he's paying for utilities, electricity. Nowadays expenses so high, he pays for everything. Then she says, she doesn't come out any money at all to upkeep the family. And are there kids involved in this story?
Yeah.
See? So he could be raising the children as his own, you know what I mean? So there's so many implications and so many layers to this. But it's quite common that we see people who get remarried, and one of the biggest concerns is the house. It's one of the biggest assets they have. Related to this story, as a separate one, is what if, and this is legit, it's happening. What if the balu, the lady, house again, same, fully paid, got children from her previous marriage, husband passed away, house paid in full, goes to her, 100%, single ownership. She remarries, and then she decides to put the new husband's name as joint tenant in a joint tenancy agreement. And her question was this: if she dies, the husband gets the house in full, and then the husband dies, her children don't get anything because they are the stepchildren, non-biological. Then how? Jang, jang, jang. So something for us to think about. I mean, you all know how the joint tenancy agreement works, right?
Correct.
You pass away, then the joint tenant, your spouse, typically your spouse, will get 100%. So how do you think they can protect themselves in this case?
I mean, it's like the option would be going for tenancy in common, giving both the kids and the husband a certain percentage of the house.
Yeah, you're
I
absolutely
would
right.
suggest that.
Right, that's the short answer that we can give to anybody watching right now. Because once you have a tenancy in common agreement, everybody gets their own specific share. I have one client who did exactly this. So the story, Madam Puan A, let's call it Puan A, she married somebody else after her husband passed away. She has two minor children, both are in their late teens, early teens rather. And her biggest concern was exactly this: when she passes away, the new husband, will get the house in full 100%, and then her children don't get anything. So my advice to her was change to tenancy in common, because she had the niyat, I want to give 10% of this house to my new husband. Nah, I give you 10%. So they go to HDB, got some conveyancing lawyer in, do all the work. She owns 90% of the house. He owns 10%. When she passes away, that 90% is then distributed according to Faraid to her son, her daughter, and the husband. So he gets more than 10%. See? Makes sense, right?
Yep.
But what if there's another story, similar to this one, which we just got a call from the other week. This gentleman, we shall not mention names, he called me and he says this: Afiq, I married a janda. Okay, and? The janda got a few children. Okay, and? Well, we've been married 4 years. And? She refuses to put my name as joint tenant because I'm the husband. I feel like I should have a share in the house. I want to put my name in. She refused. It's been 4 years. And in that past 4 years, we have fought multiple times. And aku kena halau dari rumah. I got kicked out of the house multiple times over the past 4 years. And every time I get kicked out of the house is because she will say, oh, this is not your house. This is my house. I pay for everything. You don't own a single cent in this. I can kick you out. You don't have to stay here. And they've been married 4 years. Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, like, this kind of things, the matter of the couple is one thing, but doing it in front of the kids is, the kids will see and they think it's normal to do that. And there's a kind of upbringing they will, think about.
Can. I mean, he was asking me, is this right for her to do all this? Is there a thing about Faraid? Can I do something about this with regard to Wasiat and Faraid? And I'm like, Tuan, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do to help you with this because he
legally
is a hal rumah tangga, bro.
Legally, she has every right.
Right. You're absolutely right. Legally, she's got every right. It's hers, 100%. So, what do you guys think he should do?
If it's over 35, yeah, get his own house, I suppose, yeah.
Right. I mean, I would question the foundation of this marriage. If she can kick you out so readily, multiple times over 4 years, and hold the house hostage. Literally, she's holding the house hostage. Ni yang tengok ni rumah aku, kau tak boleh tinggal sini. I'm like, dude. But who am I to judge? Right? Ni hal rumah tangga, who knows they have a wonderful relationship outside of these little fights that they have.
I have a story that comes to mind. This particular couple that I know. So technically, they are Duda and Chandra. Both had kids in their previous marriage. So when they got married, they didn't register it in Singapore,
And
and both
then
have house of their own.
HDB.
Yes.
And then.
So now they're staying together at one particular house lah. So and the wife house is currently housing her child, her children from previous marriage. Then the husband and staying with the wife. The husband's kids are all grown up, so they're staying on their own. I mean, technically, it works, but when it comes to Faraid in Singapore, they can't distribute it as a married couple.
Yeah, because
Right.
I see so many issues.
There's no
with this.
document.
Correct. No documentation. They're not technically married in Singapore.
Yeah.
But they both have their own house. So
Then they have their own assets lah.
yeah, so each family, right? The children will get their houses from their respective parent lah, when the parent passes on.
Because if they were to document it, if the husband pass away, the wife's child will not get anything, right? Because biologically they're not his. And the wife would have to sell away the house.
Yeah, because I know married couples. There was this regulation, right, where they used to do this. They call it decoupling. In fact, I heard people get divorced just to legally own two HDB properties. Okay. But some people remove the name, then they buy, then HDB found out, then they're forced to sell the other property or something. Kecoh ah. I mean, I met this couple near a few blocks away from my place. They're one of their daughters is my son's classmate back then. And I asked her, because I looked at her and I was like, Kak, if you don't mind my asking, you seem a little bit old to have a 5-year-old child. She said, yeah, I'm in my 50s. Like,
wow.
Yeah, I'm in my 50s. I'm 51, 52 now. I said, okay. So the story is she married a man who had children. He married her and she has children. So if I'm not mistaken, she has 2 kids from her previous marriage. He has 3 kids from his previous marriage. So it's hers, his, and then they got married, and now they have an ours. Okay. So I don't want to. We are trained to do this. I started thinking about their Faraid. I'm like, then the house they're living in right now, they buy together. So it's both their CPF they use to pay for the house. So some of the children already in the early 20s, the older ones already in the early 20s, they have the kids in the early teens or mid-teens staying with them. They're with the youngest. So then I look at all the children, I look at the parents. Kalau bapa dia meninggal, anak dia dapat, the ours children dapat.
Right.
And the wife, of course, get a share. If the mother pass away, her children dapat, the ours, the child in the middle dapat, the husband dapat. But stepchildren dapat. Then she asked me the question, then how? I'm like, then how? Kau punya pasal lah.
Right, the Wasiat lah.
Yes.
One
Long
third of
story
it.
short. Yeah. No choice, what? Right. But the reality of it is this. I mean, we're seeing more and more families like this. We call them blended families, right?
Correct.
Where you have people from previous marriage, people who either divorced or their spouses passed away, they have children, and they married other people. Again, nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. No judgment on our part. It's just the planning process. Kalau pening sikit lah untuk kita. Kan? I mean, Asri, do you have any encounters with situations like this?
No. I guess I'm not the kind of guy who, they speak to with their kind of problems.
Sometimes you don't have to speak to, but you just watch and observe like, wow, how complicated can it get?
Very apparently.
I do know a couple who, well, the husband married this lady. He has about 2 or 3 children. I think, yeah, 2 or 3 children. So when he married the current wife, they had like between 3 to 5 kids. So yeah, that's quite a big family. But when I spoke to them, they didn't have much issue. They know a couple of things about Faraid and everything. So there wasn't any help that they wanted. Yeah, I did a couple of financial planning for them, but because the wife is a housewife and the husband is a sole breadwinner, there
Oh,
wasn't much they could actually do for financial protection or for the future planning. But they did take it into consideration, so we'll see how that goes. But on that topic, when you're talking about the whole husband and wife marrying and then having their own kids together, with a Wasiat, of course, you can actually bequest like 1/3 of your assets. Do you, because we usually see the percentage itself. Have you ever seen like someone specifically giving this sum, like $10,000 to this child, 10,000 to this stepchild?
Are there
So
plenty
long
of
as it's
times?
1/3.
And so for those of you watching, just in case you're wondering, when you write a bequest in your wasiat, you can put a percentage or a lump sum. And if that lump sum is greater than the percentage at the time of distribution, you can lower the lump sum to the right proportion to fit into the bequest of 33%. So yes, we've seen multiple times.
It wouldn't void the Wasiat or anything.
It doesn't void the wasiat. Only that part. Only that part will need to. The courts will tell you to reduce the amount to fit the 33%.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I have a story which comes to mind, which
Ah.
I know of. Okay, like this couple personally, I know. So it's similar to the story that Afiq shared. They had their hours. They had their his, hers, then ours. Correct. So he was a widow. She was a widower. Both have their own children from previous marriage, and now they have ours. The only thing is, now the ours is from a civil marriage.
Oh no!
How?
Tu punya how berat, bro. Wow. Civil
Yeah,
marriage.
suddenly thought of it. Yeah.
Technically, right? If it's a civil marriage, it's considered anak luar nikah, right?
Yep. In
Right?
in terms of Faraid, it's not recognized.
From Faraid, okay, so for anak luar nikah, for illegitimate children, from the Muslim perspective, the child will still inherit from the mother when the mother passes away,
Correct.
but does not inherit from the father when the father passes away. It's
Correct.
illegitimate. Wow, civil marriage, rabak, oh my god. Wow,
And
then you have
technically,
to,
if the non-Muslim writes a will, give 100% to the child, the child gets a.
because non-Muslim, is it?
Yeah. It's a
Oh
will.
yeah, if one of the person, but are both parents Muslims or one of them Muslim?
No, one Muslim, one non-Muslim.
Lagi kecoh. Lagi kecoh. Okay, break it down. Let's break it down. This is a fun case study, yeah? Okay, so the lady is Muslim or non-Muslim?
Lady is Muslim.
Lady Muslim, how many children?
4.
Got son?
2 daughters, 2 sons.
2 daughters, 2 sons. Okay, lady Muslim, 2 daughters, 2 sons. Husband, how many children?
I think 2. 1 son, 1 daughter.
1 son, 1 daughter, non-Muslim.
Non-Muslim.
They married, civil marriage, now they got an hours.
Yes. A son.
Okay, from what I know, a Muslim can inherit from a non-Muslim. A non-Muslim cannot inherit from a Muslim. So therefore, if we look at it this way, right? Wife dies. The wife children gets her faraid. Husband don't get anything.
Right.
Okay, the non-Muslim does not inherit from the Muslim. the daughter, or the hours, right? The one, the daughter, son, is it? Son. Son gets something from the mother when they pass away. Okay, that one, the Muslim side. The non-Muslim side, he passes away, will follow Intestate Succession Act, assuming got no will. If he wrote a will, he can say, I want to give everything to the hours, the children. He can do anything he wants. Because non-Muslim. Oh, complicated, bro.
Kan?
We should write this down and draw out the Faraid scenario. And in fact, anybody who's watching right now, if you need help with your Faraid scenarios, let us know. We'll help you calculate your Faraid beneficiaries, calculate how much share they get. We even tell you what happens if you die, your husband, your wife, whoever dies first, who gets what and when. It's actually relatively straightforward. We have the resources. In fact, we use the Sharia court calculator so often. In fact, I think we have a short resource that our viewers can go and tap on, right? They can go and tap on and view the guide on how to use the Sharia court calculator. I think we'll release it. Look up on IG on our website somewhere. And talking about all this, we have a class. And for the first time in a very, very long time, we are going to do the class live, in person. The class will be from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. It's a full day with us. Okay, we give you lunch lagi. We provide lunch, we provide refreshments, we provide learning materials. And as a bonus, you get my ebook, The Guide to Islamic Inheritance. You also get lifetime access to the Wasiat video course, so you can review and refresh anytime. Scan that QR code to go and get access to our first live Wasiat and Faraid planning class. It will be done at the Gateway West Building, level 12. It's at Beach Road. Okay, so we will all want to see you on the 1st of June. It's the live class, which we haven't done in so long. Our first live class in forever. Come down, see us, ask your questions. You also get a bonus worth $300. That bonus is to have a completion session, one-to-one consult with our qualified professionals to answer all of your burning questions and your personal situation. So do join us at Wasiat and Faraid Planning Your Islamic Legacy Your Way on the 1st of June, 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Scan that QR code and claim all of your bonuses worth more than $400, folks. We shall see you there. And so, on that note, our two married, handsome gentlemen, any last words before we end this particular episode, and we'll see them at the next one?
Yeah, quick question. Can the participants of the class after that do their Wasiat with us?
Of course. So if you want to know, come and attend. We'll actually give you a free DIY Wasiat template for you and even teach you how to fill up yourself. But kalau you fill up salah, kita tak jamin, which is why you need to talk to us to show you how to fill up properly. So Asri, any last things from you before we end the day?
Hope you guys actually learn a couple of things from the horror stories and what you can do, if you actually plan to remarry. That's all from me.
Absolutely. Folks, thank you so much for being with us. We will see you at the next episode. We'll see you at the live class as well, and we'll share even more horror stories. This is Afiq and the Finance Ninjas, Asri and Zul. We'll see you at the next one. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum.